All right, hey VC, how you doing? My name is Jamie. Welcome back. On this edition, I thought I'd just kind of throw in a mixed bag of vinyl, sort of recent finds, some not so recent finds, and see if you enjoy. Okay, we're going to start it off with an artist solo album from a group that's very much in the news these days, talking about Fleetwood Mac. They've got their 50th anniversary tour, Lindsey Buckingham out, and Neil Finn from Crowded House and Mike Campbell from Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers in. So I don't think anybody saw that coming. I'm sure the tour will do well. They're also releasing a big box set later this year, so we look forward to that. But talking about former band member Danny Kirwan. This is his second solo album from 1976, 1977, simply titled Danny Kirwan. This is the North American release. In the UK, his second album was entitled Midnight in San Juan, which is one of the tracks on this album. So this is the North American release, and as you can see from, and this isn't a sticker, they put this like right on the album, certainly hyping the fact that this is former member of Fleetwood Mac, former lead guitarist, vocalist, and writer for Fleetwood Mac. And he was certainly a big part of the group, going back to almost to their earliest days. He wasn't an original member, but goes way back with the band. And great guitar work, great vocalist, and great songwriter as well. And this is a nice album. Midnight in San Juan is a great track. He does a nice version of the Beatles' Let It Be. But Danny Kirwan died earlier this year, June of 2018, and certainly a big part of the Fleetwood Mac story, but sometimes forgotten about. Danny Kirwan, his second album. Okay, there you go. Something a little different for you. We've got a movie soundtrack from Italian prog rockers Goblin. This is the movie soundtrack to Suspiria. Now, you might have seen in the news that the movie Suspiria, this came out in the mid-70s, an Italian movie, but it has since been remade. A remake of the film is coming out, I believe, next month, sort of a North American release. And this is the band Goblin. This is a Canadian pressing of the soundtrack, so it's not the original cover, and in fact this is more of the Goblin logo than of actually the movie. This came out on Attic Records in Canada. And even that's redesigned. It's not the original movie poster. They redesigned it for whatever reason. And so there's the band members there. And as you can tell, with a title like Suspiria, it is suitably creepy, moody, and really enjoyable overall. Goblin, Italian prog rockers, and the movie soundtrack to Suspiria. And as I mentioned, yeah, they've remade the movie, and it's coming out next month. Okay, some Canadian content for you. If you like Chicago, Blood, Sweat, and Tears, of course you gotta like Lighthouse and the best of Lighthouse. And there's certainly been many Lighthouse greatest hits released over the years, both vinyl and CD, but I think this was the first one that came out, because this came out in 1974, and it's got pretty much everything you need. One Fine Morning, Sunny Days, Take It Slow, Hats Off to the Stranger. I do love the artwork on this one. And I'll show you back there. And of course on the classic GRT label. And here it says in the corner there, contains a pictorial history of Lighthouse. And I was happy to see that it is included with this, because often, as you know, when you're picking up used vinyl, sometimes the poster's missing or some of the pieces are missing, but this has been included. This is a nice booklet. It features lots of great photos of the group. Nice write-up on the band. Skip Prokop and the boys there. But yeah, overall, really nice. Nice to see that. And of course the album's terrific too, because it's got all their hits. Alright, Lighthouse. Best of. Got some live stuff for you this time. Genesis, 3 sides live. And as you can see, this is a Canadian or North American pressing. And this one is true to the title, 3 sides live. So you got 3 sides of the albums that are live, and the last side is all studio tracks. Now, when they've since remastered and re-released this, they've decided to go with the UK version, which contains all live material, because the studio tracks in the UK had been already released as an EP, so they had a different configuration there. But this is the North American, true to the title release, and the studio tracks, Paper Late, you might recall, Me and Virgil, Evidence of Autumn, and Open Door. And this was 1982, so this is the Abacab tour, sort of features Dodo, Abacab, Also Me and Sarah Jane, but it's also got Misunderstanding, Afterglow, and a nice version of In the Cage. So again, Phil Collins, Mike Rutherford, Tony Banks, and they went with the rather plain packaging, but the inside's got a nice, and the inside, boom, there you go. Okay. And another Canadian band from the 80s, that Sound of the Spoons. From the early 80s, this is their album Talkback. This came out in 1983. Of course, it contains the title track and also the song Old Emotions. A very radio-friendly band, of course, with Sandy Horn on vocals and bass and Gordon Depp on vocals and guitar. And I was pleased to see that this contained some of the goodies from the original release. And inside we've got the sleeve promoting other bands, Canadian bands and artists like Colin Linden, also Blue Peter. And then it's got a nice poster inside with the lyrics on the back. And this album was produced by Nile Rodgers, and you can certainly tell he really punches up the sound of the band. And also included in this is, which I don't believe this offer would still be good, a complete listing of spoon stuff that you can pick up, including a black t-shirt, also a button, poster, autographed glossy, and the Spoons Tour program. Send in your money, but I don't think this offer is still valid after all these years. Spoons. And I remember seeing the Spoons years ago when they performed in Stratford and had Nash the Slash opening up for the Spoons, if you can believe it. Okay, John Lennon's Imagine's getting a big box set reissue, and here's John Lennon, Plastic Ono Band, and the greatest hits Shaved Fish. And a nice song selection on this one. This was pretty much the first John Lennon greatest hits that came out, and it's got everything you need: Mind Games, Give Peace a Chance, Instant Karma, Power to the People, Cold Turkey, Number 9 Dream. But what I've always liked about this album is the reprise of Give Peace a Chance right here. It's only about a minute or so long. They do have the original version, and then this reprise that's kind of a nice funky version of the song. You only get about a minute or so of it, but I've always enjoyed that one, and this is the only LP that I think that's included on, but I've always enjoyed that. But yeah, Shaved Fish. So this came out definitely in the 70s. 75, I think, is when that one came out. Okay, some soft, easy rock for you. Remember the Pina Colada song, Escape? Well, we've got Rupert Holmes and Partners in Crime. He had the hit Escape, the Pina Colada song. Also, the song Him was a big hit. Very radio-friendly, kind of soft rock. Always kind of wondered what was going on with this album cover, what they were thinking. You got this couple entwined here, a big picture of them, and then him in front cleaning his glasses or looking at his glasses. Like, what is going on with this cover? But overall, an enjoyable listen. Pretty soft rock, easy listening kind of thing. Okay, another live one from the group that now is pretty much known for ballads, but at one time they used to rock pretty good. We're talking about REO Speedwagon. This is their live double album, You Get What You Play For. And this one came out, I think, roughly 1977. As I mentioned, after that, they really did their big commercial breakthrough, then releasing ballad after ballad after ballad after ballad. But back in the day, they used to rock pretty good. And this is a double album. Interesting, when they put this one out on CD, they put it only as a single CD and cut 2 of the songs. So they cut Gary's guitar solo and Little Queenie that are not available on the CD unless you pick up a Japanese reissue of it. So this is the double vinyl is the only place where you get the full performance, or at least the original performance. So there you go, REO Speedwagon. Okay, and something a little different. This is a album that came out on Sony, or CBS, the Columbia label, The Progressives. I do love that cover, and you're thinking if it's not progressive rock, mainly it's jazz artists featured on this, but kind of mixed in with a little sprinkling of prog rock. So you get Weather Report, also Ornette Coleman, Keith Jarrett's included on this, but then you also get bands like Soft Machine and Gentle Giant but it's mainly a jazz album. Nice variety of music, and I do love that. Do love that cover. And this one came out in 1973, The Progressives. And so there's the cover, and we'll just quickly open up inside. Kind of minimalistic there, but something really different, The Progressives. Okay, that's going to wrap it up for this edition. Thank you so much, and hit like and subscribe if you can, and we'll chat again real soon. Take care, bye-bye.